Here I find myself again, time traveling only in my head. From the past to future play, or change, yeah. My emotions are valid, but the goal is not to be triggered every time. Never mind, it's just life. It's okay for my sanity. Choose perfect peace and now forever and always be present. I am enough as I am. I am fully equipped. Even when the tide and the currents start to shift, I am adaptable. I am adaptable. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Life for me to be grounded. The balance between problem solving and the universe working itself out. All that I have is all that I need. But to actualize it, I can't doubt. No doubt. My emotions are valid, but the goal is not to be triggered every time.
Peace. Anyone coming in? We're about to get right into it after this.
It's okay for my sanity. I choose peace and now forever and always be present. I am enough as I am. I am fully equipped. Even when the tide and the currents start to shift, I am adaptable. I am adaptable. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Time for me to be grounded. I honor God when I honor you. I honor God when I honor you. You honor God when you honor me. If you don't honor God, how could you honor me?
All right.
My name is Robert Lucas, and I'm the creator of the Freedom Pack.
Peace. Bliss. I know I have changed this timing like how many times? 3-4 times since yesterday. It be so much going on. Oh my gosh. And then when I'm getting distracted and I wasn't feeling too well this weekend, feeling a lot better now, but I'm going to get into this. This is just generally, I don't even have anything particular in mind. There's so many things. Oh my gosh, I would love to talk to you guys about, but I'm going to try and stay a little focused to get some good points out. I wanted to just show you guys this. This is a postcard about the interest of St. Augustine being the fountain of youth and the entrance. I just wanted to show this one. I keep wanting to put it in my pictures and I haven't. So when I was pulling up some books on my favorites, I came across it. I wanted to read this part right here that says, the fountain of youth attracts all visitors to St. Augustine. According to tradition, is the exact spot where Don Juan Ponce de Leon, which is the Spanish explorer in search of the fountain of youth, actually landed on April the 2nd of 1513 and planted a cross, and took possession of the so-called New World in the name of the King of Spain, taking possession of a world that was already there. That's absurd, right? Yeah. Another thing that's fascinating to me, I'm going to get into this another day, but I wanted to just show you guys. Let me see. Thought I had it pulled up. These lighthouses. Here it is. These lighthouses. it's amazing to me that there were so many lighthouses around, and they were all beacons. It said for certain areas to show different routes with the trading, so on and so forth. So these lighthouses that were up in the early 1800s, you would think, why would they be up in the 1800s if they weren't doing the trading until so much of a time later? Obviously, they were there. They had been there. I'm going to get into this another time, but because it's definitely something I wanted to deep dive into. I actually glanced at it, but I wanted to just bring it up. But yeah, all these different lighthouses. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody jumps on this subject on YouTube. I haven't been able to get over here on YouTube too much, but I'm gonna try and do better. I said that, but it's just been so just weird. I can't deal with the energy over here with people that don't really want to, make themselves be better in life, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. All these things are important. And when people aren't doing that, that's the type of space I can't be in too often. So since it's not that positive over here, I like to stay in a positive atmosphere where things can be different. And I don't have a lot of time, to be honest, to do a lot of the bills like I used to. Didn't have time really then, just trying to get you guys the information. But since it was not receptive, and people are against things that they aren't familiar with. I know when I came into YouTube, a lot of people weren't familiar with me. A lot of people didn't know me. Freeman, peace. A lot of people didn't know me. They're looking like, who is Sister Soul? A few people knew me from years ago when I was on radio. And being in different platforms, but I was not a person that was on YouTube. So coming into this journey, it was very receptive at first. People love me. I don't care where I go. People gonna love me. Like they can't help it. It's my aura. So people love me, but then what I notice a lot of times, that love can turn to a little bit of spite, jealousy, hate, things of that nature. So even though I have come into this community giving and sharing of myself of like information, a lot of people find that or have found that, I think, to be intimidating and somewhat threatening to them and what they're doing. People are talking about me coming in and getting into certain information that they're already talking about, this and that. I mean, I can't help it. I get into information. Like I have to know. I can't be, half-witted upon things and, try and figure things out and go by what a person says, so I like to deep dive into information. It's just something that's called study. When you've been studying for like 30 something years, you're going to have a lot of information that you've obtained. You're going to have a lot of knowledge that you have obtained, and with me doing so, I can't help it that I can converse about a lot of different things, various topics, like pretty much any topic, any topic that comes up, I can tell you something about it. Like, to be quite honest, I'm very versatile with my thoughts, with my thinking, with my studies, with my research. My mind is very broad, so I'm always consistently looking to expand it. And when it comes to these things, a lot of times people think that that's a person that wants to do too much, or they're putting themselves into places they shouldn't be, or, whatever. I'm not a perfect person, but I strive to be. Strive to help others and do everything that I can to impose light and truth and information to people so that they can explore their own minds, their selves, and know what's going on. What we know a lot of times is that people get caught up in everything that is in this physical, right? And this is really not a big thing, being in this physical planisphere. The spiritual realm is where everything is really being battled at. And this is a part that your mind is being tricked into to have you focus on things that aren't important. I'll just say it like that. So, it's fine to talk about different things. This is what we're going to get into today. Actually, let me get to the book we're going to be getting into today, because I want to show this because a lot of people have been talking about the land patents. So I think this one is a great one to get into. So, it's good to try and get information out, right? But people, I wanted to drop the link too, because anyone can come up. This is the open panel today. I know people sometimes, don't want to come up. They get shy. Maybe they don't know what to say or want to say anything on the topic. I don't know, but I'm definitely fine Please, brother, miss you too. I swear, it's just so hard to get over here. You know, the energy. I'll be honest. What it is the energy. Oh man, let me see. Invite the energy. I can't do it. I just the whole thing over here. Anytime when I do come to YouTube, a lot of times, like I'll catch somebody's live or something. Even that energy is like it's always negative, and it's like, I can't do it. I can't deal with it. But yeah, the link is down here. I'm about to get into a couple of things for anybody that wants to pop up at any time. You don't have to pop up now. But yeah, peace to you, brother. Peace, peace, peace. It has been a minute. I miss you guys as well. I definitely try to get over here. I be telling you guys, y'all got to come to my TikTok. When I say I got so much info on that TikTok, I'm telling you, if you're not on TikTok and looking at my page, actually, maybe I should review the page real quick. Let me see. I'm gonna go over a couple of things. Show you guys a few things that's on there, so you understand how intense I've been going in on that TikTok. Like for real. When I do have spare time, I'm usually over there because it's very positive, very receptive. People love the information there. You know, it's a lot of encouragement. You know, a lot of praise on what they're receiving and being grateful for that. You know, so I appreciate people that appreciate me. So that's kind of what's been going on with that. But let me kind of show you guys some of the things that you are missing out on just because I'm not on YouTube. There is this other platform. Patreon. I have been uploading a bit more. Hold on a second. Actually, play. Yeah, I'm gonna be all over. I didn't have anything particular today, guys. I definitely wanted to just reach out to you guys because I did this audience for sure. But yeah. But let's show you guys kind of everything that we got going on over here, guys. There's some good stuff I got going on. You just brought some land, bro. You got to hit me up. Israelite, what's going on? You got to hit me up, brother. Let me know what's going on. What you doing? I love to hear good things. Yes, 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 yes. That's crazy. You just bought land and I'm getting into that. Yes, crazy. Oh man, brother. You definitely need to hit my email up, brother, because I got some information that you definitely gonna want to get, especially since you just got some land. There's a brother that I'm in sync with that does a lot with all of that synchronicity. Exactly. So this video for you. I don't know why I postponed this a couple of times, but I said I'm gonna be talking about things that are gonna be so important for people. So yeah, definitely need to do that. Let's see. I want to kind of show y'all everything on, like everything. I'm not gonna even lie, y'all. I got everything on here. Like Sky, y'all know I get into the Sky stuff. It's been crazy over there too. But the indigenous information, stuff on just proving to y'all about the London, Virginia, England, the Canada area. I've been telling y'all about for the longest that you know, people try to say they they understand that, but I don't think people really do and understand the depth of everything and how everything's flipped upside down, inside out, and y'all don't know what's going on. But look, look, these are the posts on my TikTok, guys. Numbered info, legal information, history, stuff on the US, even showing you guys everything that the people have been doing to you. It's all in your face. Here's one. I want y'all to hear this. Disgusting. You know, I would tell y'all about
commenting on the novel planners Chicago Daily News stated. Commenting on the novel planners Chicago Daily News stated. Let's see what they stated. It says to select a trustee to represent stockholding. Didn't I tell you guys that you have stock in these companies? Didn't I tell you guys when you're finding these applications with these idiots and they're trying to take advantage of you because they're not letting you know what's going on? Disgusting. Commenting on the novel planners Chicago Daily News stated. Let's see what they stated. It says
this is talking about the public utilities. Oh my gosh, y'all. Talking about the trust. Listen, I can't even go into details about all these. That's actually one a state and trust. I think I might have showed this on the last video I did a few weeks ago. Just letting you guys see this. Where the estate and trust, proving everything I've been showing you guys about the public utilities. I showed y'all that I had gotten the voucher for over $2,000 for the public utilities, everything I paid the year before. The Public Utility Commission. Some people are like, oh, it's something like a HEAP, or it's not HEAP. It's public utilities. This particular video I was just showing you guys. Let me go back to what we're going to get into, guys. This particular video that I was just showing you guys, right? That actually was showing the allotted amount of money that goes to each of the towns, right? The state collects and is allocated a certain amount of funding. Once they're allocated the funding, it goes to the particular state, each amount, right? There were $4 million. We're talking about back in 1939. This was a budget then. $4 million, right? For each state, for the municipalities. What I tell you guys about municipalities, about you guys being the actual transmitters, right? The municipalities receive the funding because what the banks, it's that the banks are what the trust companies. This is all in their information telling you the banks are the trust companies for the state. They are public servants. These public servants are hired through the state so that they can work for the good of the people. We, the people, who are the true creditors of the United States. And even though people don't understand that, people may think, oh, you know, they're playing with the government. We don't want nothing to do. Y'all stupid. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it like it is. If you can't understand that the United States corporation, this corporation that came in to do business and to work for the government that was already established here, they came in providing certain sanctions using these banks as lien holders so that they can say that they were the fiduciaries, the trustees for the people, allocating the funds through the system of the Treasury and setting people up for failure so that they can steal from the people. This is what these people were doing and are continuing to do. And until people understand that and know what's going on, they're still going to be lost. You know, I've given my all over here trying to wake people up to this information, but there's only so much I'm going to talk about it. I might have to pull that book up just to show y'all, read through it real quick for y'all, because I think people really think this is a joke or a game. Okay. So the municipalities, I'm going to explain it in depth, right? Specifically, the Chicago Bank and Trust Company received the allocated funds to actually pay for, I think it was 12 different states. So each particular section, right, they receive the funding, and then those particular trustees through those bank and trust companies distribute the funding to the states. The states then hire what? The municipalities. The municipalities being what? Thomas Edison, Bell, all these different municipality companies are the utility services that are provided by the state for the public utilities. They receive the funding to allocate for you. And because you don't know what you're doing and they're going to keep stealing from you, this is what they've been doing for the longest, at least in their record since 1939, is the proof of the funding and the amount that has gone to each trust and savings account and to the municipalities that have been collecting. It's disgusting. And because people don't understand or see what they're supposed to be doing to assume their rights and what actually belongs to them, going back to what the railroad bonds, right? I told y'all about this before. The railroad bonds started it. They have your ancestors, all our ancestors that were working through the railroad company. All these people had stock and bonds. This is why they did all the crashing of the trains, what year before last, 2 years ago? Trying to get rid of the stock that your ancestors left in your name, because all the stock transferred down to the surname. This is why they started bastardizing you. This is why they try to keep your parents, your father's last name and things to be transferred with these marriages and changing over the names and switching things out. All of this is to remove you from the bonds that have been set up for you in your name, so they can steal and recoup from the bonds using your social security number that ties back to your elders. If your social security number ties back to your elders, it ties back to your elders' accounts. It's just that simple. I mean, I don't even know what to say. There's so many people that just don't understand, and they want to continue to be lost because they want to be caught up in the entertainment of their mind. The entertainment of your mind, your body, and your spirit is what it seems like. People are so caught up in things that aren't beneficial to them, being entertained in this life, following behind gossip and rumors and, oh, this person, this person, that. You can't even go by that. You have to go by what your spirit leads you to. If you're inclined or in tune with your spirit, you're going to know what's right for you. You're going to know truth when you hear it, right? There's light in truth. There's a certain amount of energy and a certain frequency that comes with that truth. And if it doesn't resonate with you, maybe the truth ain't for you. So that could be it too. So, can't really say. Let me check with the chat real quick. See who's come in. Peace. Charles, peace, brother. Peace to everyone that has come in. Peace to everyone that has come in. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Grand light, Gigi. Grand light, beautiful. That's right. The custodian powers. You know what those powers are? They have something, as we say, you know how we talk about these people with the birth certificate. Let me before I know this topic, I definitely got to get into tonight. I'm gonna leave it up here. I ain't gonna even change it for the moment. But I want you guys to understand something. I want you guys to take a note and write a few things down, just so you can check it for yourself, so you know I ain't just making something up for you, right? There's something called parens patriae, right? Under parens patriae, I have all this broken down on my TikTok page. You guys can go and see it. I'm not going to pull it up because I don't want to get too far off subject. But under parens patriae, there's a wardship that is assumed over you because you are what? A black minor. Being a black minor, you're in a childlike state. You can't think on your own. You can't see clearly through the light because there's too much dark space in your mind because it's been what? Brainwashed. It's been spellbinded, all of these different things. So because of these particular things, right? Your mind being caught in a minor state, which is what? Being feeble-minded, right? Being a infant in the eyes of the law, right? Because you're a minor, you're a minority, right? This is what a black minority is. You are in a minor state of mind. So now, as a minor, there's a governance over you, an ordinance, which is the parent, the adult, the parent patriae. Parent poor. I gotta pull it up. Wait, because we still gonna get right back to this because I want y'all to see this. I want y'all to understand how important this is and see that it's not a joke. This share is getting on my nerves. It's just a squeaking. Parent patriae. I want y'all to see this for yourselves. I want y'all to know that I'm not like making this up. What is parens patriae? I'm gonna pull it up in legal sense for you guys, so you can see it for yourself. Okay. I'm gonna make this real clear to anybody that has eyes to see. Okay. Real quick. Parens patriae, right? Parens patriae is Latin for what? Parent of the country or homeland, the parent of the country, which would be what? The government, the parent of the country, which is what? Papal, which goes into patriotism, right? Parent of the country or homeland. It says under parens patriae, a state, listen, a state or a court has a paternal and a protective role over its citizens or other subjects under its jurisdiction. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all with me, if you guys understand that. If any of this is making sense to what I just explained to you clearly. When you see this for yourself and they're telling you that under the parens patriae, it's a state or a court, right? Having a paternal and a protective role. Isn't that something? Guardianship is protective role, right? It is a protective role over a minor. That's what guardianship is, right? And a protective role over its citizens or other subject in its jurisdiction, being under the jurisdiction of what? The corporation. Well, what makes a person be under the jurisdiction of the corporation? Well, that birth certificate puts you under the jurisdiction because at that particular time, you went into being a citizen. You know, how did I do that? Well, you got the birth certificate, and then you went and got a social security card, a social security account, a social credit, a social blockchain account, right? Because you wouldn't retrieve that made you what? A part of the United States corporation. You are now a citizen under a corporate soul. Look up corporate soul again, right? A corporate soul, which is an entity. That's not you. You're a sentient being, right? You're a living man and a living woman. So the corporate soul would be what? The non-living fictitious being, which is civitas mortuus. I put this on my community tab. You guys can go look these terms up as well if you forget them. But being civitas mortuus, which is deceased in the eyes of the law, being civitas mortuus and deceased in the eyes of the law makes you incapable to function as a living adult, right? So because of that, the parens patriae having the jurisdiction that it puts you under, which is the paperwork, right? Under the system. So now you're under a system. The stem, like the stem cells that you have inside of you, your cells, your actual sentient being, right? And since you're a sentient being, you have stem cells, which are what? Mother cells, which are what? Ionic cells that actually are life-bearing, light and life-bearing cells, right? So being under the jurisdiction of the the court system, being under the jurisdiction of the state, then being a parent for you, having a so-called protective role over a citizen because you were what? You're sitting in the jurisdiction of the corporation by applying for services with them. You may as well say, just like anyone that signed up for the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, you signed up for the United States Corporation with their social. You didn't do it, but your mama did it. She didn't know any better because she did it because her mama did it. Because when they were implemented into the state system, these are the things that they were doing because they thought it would be beneficial, right? So anyway, fast forward the trickery after about in this system now that has turned against hired the state system being employees of the people, right? We the people, because they're actually the employees, right? They're the servants. That's why do you think they call them public servants? They are servants to the people, right? They're actually employees, servants to the people. Let's continue on. I don't want to get too far off track. It says the doctrine of parens patriae is a doctrine. It's a doctrine under which a state, listen, the state has a third party standing to bring a lawsuit on behalf of a citizen when the suit implicates a state's quasi-sovereign interest for the well-being of the citizen. Wait a minute. How can a state be quasi-sovereign? It's not a living sentient being. But it implicates that the state is being quasi-sovereign in the interest of the well-being of the citizens because it's what? Supposedly acting on behalf of the citizens, right? Being the trustee, being the fiduciary, being the person that has the role to care for, having the worship, and being under the jurisdiction means they're caring for you, right? They're supposed to be operating on your behalf. Everything that they do is supposed to be on your behalf. The bar system that people are so against, it's actually put in place for the people. They are taking oath and have taken oath to be on the side of the people, to benefit the people so that they aren't being taken advantage of by the state. Isn't that ironic? How they twisted that up on you, huh? Okay. The parens patriae doctrine is also the doctrine in which all orphans, listen, you poor little orphans, you poor little orphans that are all wards of the state because you want to continue to be a citizen under the United States government. You will not rescind your signature. You will not break those contracts, right? So that you can let them know that, hey, my mom created that, but I didn't want to be a part of that. But hey, this is what's going on. Or if you choose to, you can be a part of it. Take over, control it, assume the role of these people, right? Doing business as the particular person, because now if I do the business as this person that you have made on my behalf, that business that was put in place because it's supposed to be for your benefit, if you guys didn't know that. The system's put in place for your benefit because you being the corporate soul, the entity itself is there to work on your behalf as a business. But if you're not operating or functioning the correct way, you'll never know that. But that's a whole nother story. Let's continue. It says the parens patriae doctrine is also the doctrine, it says, right, for the orphans, again, and the dependent on the state. Oh, wow. Isn't that something that you're a dependent ward of the state as a child, being of a childlike state, right? An imbecile in the mind, feeble-minded, things of that sort, right? It says also, and persons, what is a person? A person is actually a corporation, right? So that's you, that corporate soul. And a person, which is what? The all caps name, which is a person, which is what? The corporate soul, which is what? The business side of you, right? It is deemed incompetent. Oh, that person, that business is deemed incompetent. Because the person in that business is deemed incompetent, the wardship will go unto the patriae of the sanctity of the state because they're saying they're operating on your behalf. Do you get it? Oh, they don't know what they're doing. They're slow. They don't even know how to fix their paperwork, get themselves together. They don't read to know the law. They don't understand the damn thing. So they're incompetent. They're feeble-minded. We're going to continue to have them as wards of the state until they know how to come out of it. But that's a whole nother story. It says, and within the special protection and under the control, you see that's underlined, right? Control, under the control of the state. You're going to let the state continue to control you because you do not know how to assume your responsibilities. What's up to everybody in the chat? Let me come back. Let me come back to you guys real quick. Wards of the state. That's right, bro. Wards, straight wards. War to the state. People want to continue to be a child in their mind because they want to, follow the crowd or be, under things that don't make sense, be entertained in their mind because they want to forget about the real world and the real life. It's just too hard. It's just too much to do. I don't want to have to battle. I don't want to have to struggle to do these things. I'm going to just let these people control me. Why should I want to take control of myself? Why should I want to be a person that acts as a full, capable adult? Why would I want to study, read, research, and do these things that would make the funding of my mental and my pocket much better? I don't want to do that. I'm just too scared because I just don't know what to do. But there's guidance for us. That's right. There's guidance for us, right? And if there's guidance, right, you should take it. I'm here to give it to you guys as much as I can. You see, you don't get it as much as you used to. I just don't have time to waste time. I have to make sure I'm providing services to the people that deserve it. The people that I know are going to be encouraged in the words. The people I know that are going to study. They're not going to just listen to what I say and, oh, that sounds good, but I don't know. They're going to study. They're going to research. I'm dropping the information. I'm showing you exactly what you need to do. I've told people what to do. And the ones that have even been, oh my gosh, they don't even know the abundance of these particular trusts that have been set up for them. They just sitting with them talking, I got useless paperwork. I don't know what to do. Them some lazy ass people. I done got them a whole damn trust. People, everybody I know, the minimum they charging $1,000. I gave these people trust with what, $275? I don't remember what I charged when I was trying to just help people out, just coming to the community. And these people got a whole $2,000 trust and they don't know what to do with it and think I scammed them. Lord, the minds of these people. When I tell you the mental capacity of people to not fund their mental because they want to be followers. They want to fall behind the scene. They don't want to do the work. They don't want to put anything in. You got to put in to get in, right? If you want to receive something, you got to put out. That means you got to put in the work. You got to do some study. You got to do some research. You got to go into what you need to do. You got to call it, ask questions if you need to, figure it all out, get it done. Period. Part and partial. I don't know what that part and partial. I don't know what you're talking about. Is it like I missed that? I'm sorry. Yes. The corporate persona. A person being caught up in that. You get married to the state. Where there's third party, exactly. Marrying the state. It's the same thing. Listen, I keep telling people that's the same thing as the birth certificate. People don't understand that. When you get married, you're doing the same thing as when your mom signed that birth certificate for you. You are making them a third-party joiner, a joinder. What is a joinder? Look up a joinder, okay? You're making them a third-party joinder into your relationship, taking you into a legal binding contract with the freaking state so that they got some control over your marriage. They're going to tell you when to leave, when you can separate and all that. How the hell is somebody going to come into your relationship and tell you what to do? Are you crazy for even putting yourself in that position? I think so. I think that once you lay down, you consummate a marriage. Why do you think that you can annul a marriage within 30 days if you haven't had sex, right? Because the marriage is actually the consummation. This is what people don't understand. The consummation, the blending of the waters, right? That's the consummation. That's where the marriage happens, right? Marriage is all part of a scheme that was used to take the land from the Indian women because all the land was in the women's name. So they had to have these foreigners come in, marrying these Indian women and taking their name, changing the name so that they could take their plot of land. Y'all don't know what the marriage is about? You don't know what family is about? Family is about slavery and servitude. Having a family, getting married and having a family. That's committing to slavery. Come on, y'all. Y'all got to do some more studying and some research. Appreciate you too, brother. I appreciate everybody that's always been here supporting, knowing that I ain't spitting nothing but the truth. Y'all know it. I ain't gonna waste my time playing with people. I don't got time. American Indian, peace, brother, peace. There go another one, another real one. We got a few real ones in this community. That's why I still come back over here. That's why I might not have come often, guys, but y'all know I'm gonna still come back over here because we got the real ones out here. For real, for real. Copper Goddess Peace says, peace, beautiful. You understand? I'm gonna make sure I'm giving it to the ones that's still here to receive the light, the truth, the word, right? We got to do that. I can't forget about y'all. Okay, so let's get back to it, guys. I went into that a little bit. I don't even know why, but I want you guys to understand that this is so important. I want y'all to come out of being under the rulership and control of these people. I want y'all to understand, like I've told y'all about these jobs. Everybody's going into work for a job, a position. Do you know you're an investor? Literally, I just had to. I went over a whole bill with this. I've been blocked on TikTok twice. They hate it. They can't stand it. As soon as I go to give it some truth, man, they can't stand it. But anyway, they when it comes, hey baby, when it comes to the thing, I got distracted. My grandbaby was saying. But when it comes to everything, right, and these people and the hold on, I want my thought to come back because I was going to say something to y'all before I got into this read. Hold on, it's gonna come back. Baby just distracted me, but hold on. Damn, I hate when I lose my thought. I got so much stuff on my mind. I want to get back. Let me get back to this and then let it come back. We're gonna get to our read in a second. I just wanted to comment on something I was just saying to you guys about this. I hate when I lose my thought. Got a little constant distance going on, guys. I'm having some sinus issues. This weather has been like crazy up here. I'm doing the best that I can. I've been drinking my tea as usual. I've been doing steam baths. Man, that's just like I'm still trying to get a lot of this mucus out of me, but it's kind of got my head a little off, but I'm with y'all. I'm definitely with y'all. But I wanted to talk about dang, it was something I want to mention to y'all real quick. Dang it. And I'm mad it ain't come back. It should have came back. No, I ain't feeling too good, but that's all right. That's why I kept changing this thing. And I said, I'm going to do this live today. I don't care because it's been a minute. I wanted to do one with Mother Callie about 2 weeks ago. Me and her set something up. I think she got busy. She didn't get back to me. And to be honest, I didn't feel all that great. And I just kind of left it at that. But I definitely am going to have her back on because she's got some she got some deep stuff she's going to get into with us that I've been talking to you guys about it. When y'all see her come and bring this information from this elder, y'all going to be like, damn, Sister Soul was on it again. And I ain't even being egotistical. I'm just telling y'all the truth. I can't help what the Spirit do for me. I can't help what it showed me. I can't help what it lead me to. You know, it is what it is. I am not perfect, but I am definitely a receptive of truth light. Let's say that. Okay, we're gonna get into this. Whatever I wanted to speak to you guys about a minute ago, it will come back because it was definitely important and it's gonna come back either way. So let's get into this. I can't do a bunch of reading, guys. This right here, this writing is so dang small on top of it. Lord, I don't even want to try to read it because I'm already not doing that great right now. So we're gonna have to do a little book reading, guys, but listen very closely. I'll make it as clear as possible, even if I have to slow it down. All right, let's go.
Extracts from T//E Act entitled You an Act Concerning, Twitkants, and to increase Tuesday literature and Sklioal funds respectively carried past April IS 1819
An act concerning quit rents, and to increase the literature and the school funds.
And be it further enacted that it shall be the duty of all persons owning lands heretofore forfeited to the people of the state, to exhibit satisfactory proof to the controller, on or before the 1st day of May, in the year 1820, that their lands were so forfeited, in order that the quit rents charged thereon may be cancelled and discharged, and if any such persons owning lands so forfeited shall neglect to produce such proof within the said period, he shall be liable for the costs that may be made in advertising the said lands for the non-payment of quit rents appearing due thereon, and for all other costs that may have accrued in enforcing the payment or collection of such quit rents, until the lime OT producing such satisfactory proof as aforesaid, and no sale shall be made of any such lands for the non-payment of quit rent, if before the same, such satisfactory proof as aforesaid shall be made and produced as aforesaid, provided always, that the said controller shall not, until the 1st day of May, in the year 1820, so far as may regard any patent on which payments were made or remission granted, as specified in this act without a specification of the lands on
it's gonna get into the
which
names.
Such payments were made or remission granted, publish the notice required by this act. 14. And be it further enacted, that when there are or may be several owners or proprietors of any tract of land chargeable with quit rents, whether the same is or shall be situated in one town or in several towns or counties, it shall be lawful for any 3 or more of such owners or proprietors, whenever there shall be more than 1 year's quit rent due on such tract, to put up an advertisement in 3 public places within each of the towns in which such patent may be situated, at least 14 days prior to the time of meeting spefied in such advertisement, notifying and requiring all the owners and proprietors.
Before I forget to tell you, brother, one thing you want to do, I'm gonna put you on real quick to something. The land that you have, right? In order to avoid taxes, right? This is why agriculture is so important, right? All you need to do is start a farm on your land. You can get, I don't care if you don't got nothing else on the land, put you a chicken coop on it, go check on it, do what you need to do, whatever. Get you a cow, a goat. I don't know. I believe you're in Georgia, so you should be able to find any type of animal that you want to farm. All you need is one. Put it right on your land, brother. And then you can use your land as farmland, and you will not have to pay 0 taxes, brother. 0. So look into that for sure. 0. North Carolina. Oh yeah, you good, bro. Yeah, look into that. Okay. That wasn't what I wanted to say earlier, but that definitely just came to my mind to say in case I forgot to mention it to you. But yeah,
the lands in such patent, chargeable with quit rents, to meet at a certain time and place therein to be specified, not less than 20 nor more than 40 days from the time of setting up such advertisement, to raise and pay the arrears of quit rents then due for such tract, and such of the owners and proprietors of the said land chargeable with quit rent, as shall then meet, may proceed to choose, by plurality of voices, 2 assessors and 1 collector, for the purpose, and the assessors, so chosen, shall procure from the controller of the state, an account of the arrears of quit rent due for such patent, with an account of the charges of advertisement, if any, and an account of the quantity of land in such patent, if any, on which quit rent is remitted or discharged by commutation, and shall then proceed to make an assessment roll, containing the names of the owners or proprietors of the land in tight said patent chargeable with quit rent, where they can ascertain them, and the quantity of land to which they are respectively entitled, and the sum with which each of them, and with which equally parcel of land, is chargeable, according to the quantity of laud which every person, known or unknown, may be entitled to in the said patent or tract, with an addition of 6%, for charges, taking care to describe with reasonable certainty, the lands assessed, and to designate each owner who may he known, and subscribe their names to the said assessment roll, and annex the account received from the controller to it, and within 40 days from the lime they were chosen, deliver the same to T.E. collector so chosen as aforesaid, who shall collect from the several persons named in such assessment roll, resident on the said land, he several sums they shall be respectively charged with, in the same manner as the collectors of public taxes are or shall be empowered to do by law, and shall within 120 days after he receives such assessment roll, pay the sums by him received or collected thereon, to the treasurer of the state, and deliver the said assessment roll to the controller, with the certificate thereon, signed by such collector, if the whole rum mentioned thereon, is not paid, setting forth which of the persons therein named are delinquents, and the lands, if any, of owners unknown which remain unpaid, and the reasons why the charges remaining unpaid could not be levied, and such collector shall also pay 1/6 part of such part of said 6%, as he shall collect, to the assessors, for their trouble, and retain the residue as a compensation for his services, and the controller shall sell the lands of the delinquents, whether residents or non-residents, or so much of each piece or parcel, so return to him, as may be necessary to raise the amount due on each respectively, with the expense of advertising and of sale, first giving notice of the sale in manner herein prescribed, provided however, that after any tract or patent shall be 15 and be it further enacted, that in every case in which application shall be made to the controller by the assessors to be appointed under Tins Act, to ascertain the amount of rents due on any patent or tract, he shall certify not only the arrears of quit rent then actually due on such patent or tract, but, in case that 60% of such arrears, and the commutation for future quit rent on such patent or tract, shall be less than such arrears alone, he shall certify what such 60% of such arrears and commutation amounts to, and then, and in every such case, the amount to be collected, where collections.
Damn, that just brought back to me what I wanted to tell y'all earlier. Hold on, I got to go back to this. The job, when I was telling you guys about the employment, right? You being the investors, that's what I wanted to say. When you're going to a job, I'm gonna explain it just like this. When you go and you put in an application, right? An application is what is known as a surety, which is a bill of exchange, which is a security agreement. When you apply for a so-called position, you're opposing yourself into this particular company by doing what? Providing your resources, your security, which is what? Your social security or your social credit account number. Your application is now a bill of exchange. That bill of exchange is now used and traded on the market, right? This is why I tell you guys you can go back and get the equity from your businesses. But hey, you got to know what you're doing to do that. But if you can't understand it, I'm so sorry. You can go back and get the equity from all of these places that you have worked at because you have poured the security into the position. When you fill out a W-9 form, what that form is saying is that you are backing this company. You are now an investor in this company because you believe in this company. You have full faith in this company. You are backing them. You're an employee there because what? An employee is what? An investor in the company. You're investing your stock. So your stock, which that W-9 form now allows them an allocated amount of funding that they'll receive for their business for each employee. The funding is now under an insurance policy. It is now under bonds and stocks, so that now every time that you are, you're getting what? Like they'll do an employee benefits, right? Oh, you've been on the job for 10 years. We're going to give you 15 years. You're going to get this, or 20 years. You're going to get that. They'll give you these things as a stipend because why? Because there's security interest that they have made off of you in the stock that you have invested in their company since you've been working there. Every year that you work there, there's a certain amount of funding, of interest that they retrieve off of you from the insurance policy that they have set out on you. The equity that you have in the company is dependent upon the amount of time that you spent at that company. It is dependent upon the resources that that company has made and the type of interest that you have provided for them to grow with. Because your investment, which is your security that you gave them, you allocated the funding for them to have this corporation and this company funded through you and all the other employees. And this is now being paid through the Treasury. Every time you get that so-called paycheck, they say, oh, go cash your check. They tell you to go cash your check. You're taking it to cash it in for what? A debt note that has no value. The actual security is that check. So now, since you don't have a trust and you're not putting your security into your trust so that it obtains the proper value and the interest and credits, you're cashing it for a debt note. So now when you take it and you cash it and it goes back to their bank, they're able to turn it into the Federal Reserve. And now they can get the allocated funds for that security, which is 16 to $1. Every dollar, they're getting $16 for every cash dollar that you are participating in. This is why the debt clock keeps rising, because people are not understanding that they are participating in the fraudulent acts of these people. When you go and you purchase a home or you purchase a car, a large ticketed item, right? Any of these items that you are doing the same thing for, you are applying for the service of this particular fiduciary trustee, that they are giving you a service for one of these prepaid damn cars or prepaid houses. They're already prepaid. So now you're going in. And once you go in and you sign the security, which is the bill of exchange for these people, right? You're saying, I'm filling out this application because I want this vehicle. I want them to approve me. You're already approved. Once you signed it, it's approved. You've given it a security. You created the bill of exchange, which is the negotiable instrument that application has now turned into with your autograph, which is your authority to securitize the document. Now, what they did was trick you because, see, they gave you something. They told you, oh, you got interest. These interests that you have to pay, you're going to be paying in the finance charges, right? The finance charge is actually the interest that is owed to you, because to you are the person that supplied the security for this particular vehicle. You went and signed and said, okay, this is a vehicle I needed, I want it. So you signed for it, you've given the credit for it. Now you are assuming the property. That's why they tell you possession is 9/10 of the law, because once it's yours, it's yours. You have up to 30 days to rescind that contract. They don't tell you that. No car dealership is going to say, hey, in 30 days, you can rescind this contract, because they know that possession is 9/10 of the law. They know that once you rescind that contract, once you send it back and rescind the contract that you originally created with them, within 30 days, you still already had a vehicle. But see, the vehicle was already paid for, and you still may be owed securities in this particular vehicle, even once you rescind it. Do you know that? Y'all don't understand this. It's just too much for y'all to grasp, huh? Okay, anyway, when it comes to that security, right? And then now you have given them the 30 day, within the 30 days, the rescission of your signature, which is the HJR form, right? HJR 92, HJ 92 form, HR 92, Lord. This particular form, it's a rescission form that you're supposed to get every time. And since they don't give you that, here's another section to that. They're committing fraud, right? Because they didn't tell you that, hey, you have the right to rescind. You have a right to rescind this within 30 days. You have a right to rescind this within 15 days, whatever the time is that they have on this particular contract. If they didn't tell you that, hey, I'm taking this contract and where I'm telling you that there are finance charges and I'm actually allocating this to a bank, which is a third party representative that you didn't have a contract with because you did not create the contract. Since you didn't create a contract with them, how do you got a contract with this bank? Hold on, bank. Why are you telling me I got to pay you something monthly when I never went to you? I didn't come to the bank. I went to the dealership. I created a contract with them. The contract is between me and them. And now that I know that their contract is faulty and fraudulent, now that I know that they have turned over everything to you for you to handle because it was already paid, and since they traded my information on the stock market, which is that bill of exchange, the negotiable instrument that I created, and they went and sold it, and then they sold it for 10 times because, see, each time they carbon copy your signature. You didn't know that, right? If anybody that's got a new vehicle, ask them for the full report on everything that's been going on with that vehicle. You're going to see you got at least 2 vehicles that they done purchased off of you. But they got you paying for it. They still got you paying monthly for something that they done already purchased and purchased something else on. They done got about $500,000 off you in that one little vehicle. You don't even know it. Oh my gosh. They abuse you guys so much. It's just crappy. Right? So now, once they have went and they have traded on the stock market, already purchased this, because why? They are trustees and they are fiduciaries. These people are literally trustees and fiduciaries. Their job is to take care of you. They are public servants for a reason. Their job is to take care of the public. I got to pull up this estate and financing book. I'm going to read some more of this patent. I'm going to drop this patent book because I think I might need, I wasn't going to even get into the law because I know they say, Lord, Sister Soul in this law. But listen, I got to bring it to the real. If those that don't want to hear it, I'm sorry. You welcome, darling. You are definitely welcome. I want y'all to understand this because it's a fact of life. And I'm going to prove it to you like I've been proving it to you. I ain't going to bring y'all nothing without the proof, whether people understand that or not. This is the book right here, right? I'm going to read a little bit more, but I want to show you guys something else. I'm going to pull this book up. I was just telling you about it, just so you can understand about the either the Bar Association, whichever one I find first, to prove to y'all exactly what I'm talking about. Y'all think it's a game? Because it sure ain't. Let's go. Let's get this pulled up real quick. Hold on. Let me pull it up. Trust in the States. I hope it's right in this email. Or I might have to go pull it up on these PDFs, which I hate to look for. It's going to be like forever. And I want to get right to it. I hope this is it. Let me see. Nope, that's not it. Right. Let me see. Trust in the state. Let me see if it's under here. Let me see. Estate and trust. Let me see. I hate when I have stuff all over the place. Y'all just got too many books, too many things. Let me see. I just had this book pulled up. I think it was pulled up on the other computer. I don't want to waste too much time looking for it, guys. Maybe I'll read a little bit more of that, and then I'll look for it while it's reading. But yeah, let me finish explaining this real quick. I'm gonna keep trying to tell the truth, baby, for sure. So just to make this very clear, what happens is you sign the negotiable instrument, which is the security agreement. A security agreement is what? An application. Everything that they tell you, this is application, this is the application. That is the security agreement. Anything that asks you for your social is a blockchain credit number that goes back to a Federal Reserve system to pay out through the Treasury. So when they ask you for your social security number, that, as I told you guys before, it tells you right on the back of your card, don't show this information to anybody. No one's supposed to be asking for it. So anyone that asks for your social and you provided it to them, that's fraud. Just like when you go and you apply for a driver's license, then you complain about having a ticket. Why are you complaining about having a ticket? Then you go sign up to be a driver? Then you sign up to be a driver under the state? A driver, not a traveler, right? Look up what the difference in a traveler and a driver is so you can have a clear understanding, right? Since you signed up as a driver for the state, you are operating under commerce, right? You signed up for that. You're the ones that went and said, hey, I want to work for the Department of Transportation by filling out that application to be a driver. They tell you that, but you didn't have to do that. You didn't have to. No, you can operate privately, right? You can operate privately, and then you have the right. The Supreme Court has ruled. I've shown you guys this more than once as well. Supreme Court ruled that you have the right to travel, right? Everyone has the right to travel, and there's no license needed. A license is a license to operate in commerce while operating on the road, like an Uber driver, a delivery driver, a bus driver, transportation worker. These are drivers. You're not a driver. You're a person that's traveling. Okay? Make sure that you understand that. Okay. Let's get back to this because I want to show you some other stuff. I just dropped that book. So hold on. We're going to go to another book because I'm going to get to another book or two. And I want to look for this Trust in the State book I have because I want to show y'all that because it's very pertinent for you guys to get that. Hold on. This is from the General Land Patent Office. Let me let y'all see what these bums was doing in 1907. I'm gonna look for this book real quick because we're gonna get into that a little bit because I'm not gonna be on here long, guys. I know I've been postponing this for the longest, but I definitely wanted to come in and check with you guys because it has been a minute. I love my audience over here, even though, I don't get to come over often, even though a lot of people have dropped off due to entertainment and, being followers and listening to lies and not being fundamentally lit in their mind. I feel so sorry for people's souls sometimes, but I'm definitely going to make sure that I'm coming in for you guys to do as much as I can this week. For sure, I'm coming back, hopefully Wednesday. I'm going to try and get to this information. If I don't, I'm definitely going to come back Wednesday with this once I've pulled this information up because I wanted to go through this with you guys. I've done it on TikTok, so I'm going to make sure I can provide as much proof for you guys over here. It's so much easier on TikTok. It's so, I don't know. I can't explain the difference. I like it. I see why App TV was going over there so much. It's so much more reception to people wanting to learn and understand stuff and really getting the clarity and like appreciating the truth and studying, actually coming back like, oh, I looked at this sister and this is I found. I appreciate, people let me know they literally doing the work. And that's what I love. So the interaction, that's what it is. There's a different interaction. Even though I get it from you guys are definitely encouraging, but it has definitely fell off. And that drains my energy. I hate to say it, but it's very draining when you're not being encouraged in a space, unfortunately. But yeah, let's get into this. I'm going to try and get into this information I want to share with you guys. This is going more into this. I did drop that book. I'm going to drop this one as well. But yeah, let's get right into it.
Office, Department or the Interior, General Land Office, Washington, D.C., September 30, 1907. Sir, I have the honor to submit the following report of the General Land Office for the fiscal year ended June 30, 1907. My predecessor, the Hon. W.A. Richards resigned his position March 4 of this year, so that the transactions embraced in this report cover only 3 months of my service as commissioner. The administrative policy concerning the public lands, under your direction, has been to exercise strict vigilance to prevent the disposition thereof through fraudulent or wrongful methods, and in so doing, it has likewise been my earnest purpose to advance with equal vigilance and dispatch the rights and claims of the honest entryman. A special effort has been made to free the unappropriated lands from blanket suspensions which have resulted from general charges of fraud without showing substantial evidence of unlawful practices. It is believed that such suspensions cannot be justified either in law or sound policy and are especially harassing to the honest entryman. The bona fide claimant is often powerless to remove these vague suspicions because of their very indefiniteness, and it is likewise embarrassing to the officers relieving such suspensions, since there should be as good reason for ordering restorations as presumably there were for ordering the suspensions. Furthermore, the Act of March 4, 1907, provided that no part of this appropriation shall be available for the examination of the lands in any entry upon which final proof has been made unless the Department has information furnishing good grounds to suspect fraud or non-compliance with law as to that specific entry. The following table shows the area of restorations from blanket suspensions since March 4, 1907. Approximate area of public lands restored to entry since March 4, 1907, previously held under blanket orders of suspension. State: Arkansas, California, Idaho, Kansas, Montana, New Mexico, Nebraska, Nevada, Oregon, Washington. Total date of suspension /February 9,1906 May 12,1906 February 21,1900 February 28,1900 due IOCT 11,1902 August 28,1905 IMAV 27,1905 Feb 25,1905 May 27,1905 March 21,1905 I December 9, 1905 December 20,1905 July 15, 1908
So
March.
it's going down the column,
3,
guys.
1906
But
December.
you guys can see it. I'm gonna make sure that you can see it if you want to screenshot so you can have the actual record if you want to. Oh, oops, I did not mean to do that. Hold on, let me start it back again so I can go to it.
14, 1905 February.
Go back.
Kansas.
Okay.
Montana, New Mexico, Nebraska, Nevada, Oregon, Washington. Total date of suspension /February 9,1906 May 12,1906 February 21,1900 February 28,1900 due IOCT
I'll be right
11,1902 August 28,1905 IMAV 27,1905 Feb 25,1905 May 27,1905 March 21,1905 I December 9, 1905 December 20,1905 July 15,1908 March 3, 1906 December 14, 1905 February 6, 1906 May 21,1906 October 6, 1906 April 12,1906 November 14,1903 April 14, 1903 August 24,1903 Jan 5,1906 August 24, 1905 October 5, 1905 June 23, 1906 _ due date of release J. May 13, 1907, May 25, 1907, June 3, 1907, May 23, 1907, May 20, 1907, June 1, 1907, June 4, 1907, July 15, 1907, April 2, 1907_2. May 31, 1907, May 24, 1907, June 14, 1907, May 24, 1907, May 25,
Okay, I'm gonna fast forward that part,
1907,
guys.
June 1,
So we can get right
2.
back to the reading because that's
Total
all
acreage
those numbers.
released.
Okay.
The most rigorous effort is being made.
All right, let's go there.
WDTH the force at my command to restrain unlawful and fraudulent practices in the public land states and to secure evidence to prosecute those guilty of violation of the law. The field force is totally inadequate in numbers to reach all such offenses, hence the gross offenders are more particularly sought for. The record of prosecutions and convictions will be found in the report of Division P, Field Service. I wish to call a special attention to the fact that this office has received during the fiscal year from accepted propositions of settlement for timber trespass $80,917.53, and the amount collected for timber trespass on suits instituted upon reports furnished by agents of the Field Service of this Bureau was $203,552.68, making a total of $284,470.03. Respecting unlawful enclosures, 136 cases, involving an area of 842,720 acres, have been reported. In 94 of these cases, involving an area of 259,918 acres, the enclosures have been entirely removed. The remainder, involving an area of 608,242 acres, are either being removed or action is pending to compel their removal. While good faith must be imputed to the great majority of settlers upon the public lands, the same is not equally true regarding entrymen under other forms of law. It is too often a case of seeking title. For speculative remainder, involving an area of 608,242 acres,
imputed
are
to the
either
great
being removed
majority
or
of
action is
settlers,
pending to compel their removal. While good faith must be imputed to the great majority of settlers upon the public lands, the same is not equally true regarding entrymen under other forms of law. It is too often a case of seeking title. For speculative purposes and to further the schemes of timber or coal combinations, or to control important water rights or large areas of grazing lands, and as is hereafter observed, certain radical changes in the laws are considered necessary in order to restrain these efforts to unlawfully absorb the public domain. The reorganization of the Field Service has been largely effected, although the force still contains some material unsuited to energetic field work, largely on account of advanced years. It is well recognized that in public service age disqualification is the most difficult to act upon. Respecting the reorganization of the field force, it has been my purpose and that of my immediate assistants to make the agents so far as possible, with the limited number, the instruments by which the public lands shall be saved for the landless settler and the honest entryman, on the principle that lands kept from fraudulent dispossession may become the property of those who in contemplation of law should receive them. The numerical insufficiency of this force appears more in detail in the report hereof of the Field Service Division. Beyond question, the appropriation for this service is wholly inadequate to secure the results necessary both in protecting the government and the bona fide entrymen. Personnel of the General Land Office. Numerically, the force employed in the General Land Office is adequate to transact its business, but it is deficient in energy and trained technical ability to accurately and promptly dispatch the business of the Bureau. The reasons for this deficiency in the force are apparent and may be generally stated as follows. 1. Inadequacy of compensation in certain of the classifications. 2. Deficiencies in personnel resulting from age and lack of professional qualifications. 3. Inadequacy of office space to transact the business in an orderly and systematic manner, and lack of proper and modern equipment. It is with the utmost difficulty that the business of the several divisions can be made current and kept so, And yet there are many men and women in this bureau who are proficient and capable beyond the salaries paid them. The Land Commission appointed under Act of Congress approved March 3, 1879, in its report to Congress made, among others, the following observations respecting this office, which are pertinent to existing conditions. The machinery of the land system lies at the threshold of the successful administration of the law. If defective and incomplete in its organization, it will not be operative from inherent weakness, and the law will, in the ratio. Report of Commissioner of General Land Office. Of such weakness, remain a dead letter upon the statute books. If cumbersome and complicated, it will, by cumulative delays and excessive cost, impair and retard the operation of the law it was intended to execute. It is important that the officers of that organization should be of sufficient integrity and trained capacity to qualify them for the lawful adjustment of the intricate and delicate questions of fact and of law constantly arising in the administrative construction of the various statutes which constitute the land system. Duties of such responsibility require men of experience and ability, and for their employment and retention an adequate compensation should be provided. The conflicts arising between the government and grantees and between settlers and grantees require the best ability for their adjustment. Questions which thus arise are at all times pending before the office. Cases involving greater amounts come before the General Land Office than before any other branch of the executive department of the government. The difference between what the beneficiaries of a land grant may claim and what may be awarded often amounts to millions of dollars in value.
Oh, wow.
The adjudication of many cases involving millions of dollars worth of property is not infrequent. I also quote, with approval as related to existing conditions, from the annual report of Commissioner Williamson, in which he says, laws have multiplied. No session of Congress closes without new and varied legislation involving public lands. Lands are of greater value than formerly, and as the country is settled and filled up, their increase in value will continue, and with it contests by conflicting claimants will be more numerous and more vigorously prosecuted. The existing cases, which have been in controversy and pending for years, are complicated and difficult, requiring for their correct disposition the best legal talent. The mineral lands are inviting the capital and enterprise of the country for their development, and in these cases, not infrequently involving millions of dollars in value and in which the best legal talent of the country is employed as counsel, manifestly should be examined and decided by able lawyers, and the controversies growing out of conflicting claims of every character all render it simply beyond reasonable question by any sensible person that a high standard of ability in those who decide these cases, involving the homes and fortunes of individuals no less than the public interest dependent upon peace of title and the sound administration of law, is imperatively demanded. The necessity of this office is able men of legal education and mature judgment, and without them the administration of its affairs must be measurably defective and discreditable. It is impossible to secure or retain at present salaries and under existing conditions a sufficient corps of trained lawyers and expert clerks to place the work of the office under a thoroughly effective and businesslike organization. The recommendations for a change in classification and salaries heretofore transmitted, if adopted, will mitigate these difficulties. Numerous changes have been made in the personnel of the force by discharges, promotions, and demotions, with the view of increasing the efficiency of the various divisions, and in all such cases they have been made on the ground of capacity or lack of capacity to advance the public service. 9. Administration. In view of the fact that intelligent administration of the land laws demands, upon the part of the officers of this Bureau, a more or less intimate knowledge of the conditions in the public land states, it has been my aim to secure, as far as possible, for official servicemen of Western experience and acquaintance with the actual working of the laws in the field. This policy has, in the short period of my incumbency, proved of great administrative value. Further, following this purpose, On March 14 last I addressed the following circular letter to registers and receivers of the several land districts. You are requested to submit for my consideration suggestions and recommendations, based upon your experience in TV public land service, having in view improvements in the administration of existing public land laws, and also suggestions and recommendations for a mandatory or new public land legislation, if, in your judgment and experience, additional legislation is desirable. Any recommendations made should be submitted on or before June 30, 1907, with such discussion of each as will enable me to obtain a clear idea of your views, and the reasons. This letter elicited replies from registers and receivers, giving valuable information respecting the advantages and disadvantages in practice of rules, regulations, and laws operating upon the disposition of the public lands. Some of these observations and recommendations have resulted in the abrogation or modification of useless and improper rules and regulations, and others will be used as a basis for recommendations for needed affirmative and remedial legislation. The results of a closer advisory relation between the field officers and the General Land Office are reflected in a hearty cooperation by the entire force to advance the public service through an effort to secure a more perfect administrative system. A diligent effort has been made to remove all impediments to an accurate and rapid dispatch of public business. To this end, correspondence has been made direct and concise, decisions and rulings plain, explicit, and uniform, the general practice simplified and brought into harmony with existing laws. The distribution of work in the several divisions of the General Land Office has been so allotted as to secure the highest working efficiency from each branch of the service, and modern business methods have been and are being adopted as fast as conditions will permit of their installation.
Here it is.
There is, I have learned from visiting numerous district land offices, a want of uniformity in the methods of doing public business. In some offices, reports show extreme congestion of work, resulting from unusual conditions in the matter of applications for public lands or from resignation or removal of officers, etc. The limited appropriations at the disposal of this office have prevented in such cases the assignment of a sufficient number of trained clerks to give proper and speedy relief to entrymen, who must in all such cases suffer for the inconvenience and delay. So far as possible, by assignment of clerks from offices whose work is current. All right, guys, I'm going to show you guys
exactly what I was talking about, right? In a second. I want to let this read a little bit more. I was actually looking for the book. Is why I wasn't saying too much, but I want to make sure that you guys are understanding this and what happened with these land patent offices. I mean, there's so much more to this, but it's crazy. But yeah, I'm going to read something very important to you guys right after this.
Office. The offices laboring under these unusual embarrassments have been given assistance. There should be a sufficient force of emergency clerks trained in district office work to enable the commissioner to see that the work of all offices is made current and kept so. This office has under consideration the recasting of forms and methods of accounting and conduct of business of the local land offices, which will greatly simplify and reduce the labors of these officers. Likewise, in the offices of surveyors general, I have discovered a lack of uniformity in the methods of doing business, and, after investigation, I find that the contract system under which the public land surveys are made is antiquated, cumbersome, and expensive. An effort will be made by this office to overcome these difficulties so far as possible under existing laws. In view of the fact that the public land surveys are required, under the present laws, to be made under what is known as the contract system, it is necessary to employ examiners of surveys to check and partly retrace the work of the contractor in order to determine that the work has been correctly performed. The present system greatly increases the cost of surveying per acre over what it would be were the surveys made in the first instance by surveyors and transitmen employed by this office without the necessity of examinations. The suggested change would also obviate the delays in the approval of the surveys which necessarily follow under the present system. In order to change the present method, it will be necessary to amend the statutes providing for surveys and resurveys and give authority to this office to employ salaried surveyors to execute the public land surveys. Changes in regulations. Numerous changes in the regulations affecting the administration of the public lands have been made, which are believed to be in consonance with both the spirit and letter of the laws, and will result beneficially in the disposition of the lands. The following are some of the more important modifications. States elections. Selections under special grants are limited to 6,400 acres to any one list. Selections in any one list of indemnity school lands must not exceed 640 acres. In indemnity lists, selected tracts must correspond in area with the base tracts, and separate bases must be assigned to each legal subdivision selected. The cause of the loss must be specifically stated in all indemnity selections. Notice of selection of all land is required to be given by publication and by posting in the local land office for 5 consecutive weeks. No application for lands covered by existing selections or entries is allowed, or any right recognized by the tender of the application, and no amendment of any indemnity school selection by the substitution of new base, in whole or in part, is allowed. Homestead entries in forest reserves. No one has a preferred right of entry except a qualified settler who, prior to January 1, 1906, occupied the lands, and the person upon whose application the lands were examined and listed. Sub.
Y'all getting this? I hope so. I want y'all to read that yourself. It's a short book. It's only 203 pages. I just dropped it in the chat. I'm going to read this to you guys real quick about lawyers and a few things with them, right? In the American Bar Association. I want you to understand that the lawyer, which is in the SEC, which is the Security and Exchange Commission. SEC is the Security and Exchange Commission. It says the lawyer. It says the SEC, which is the Security Exchange Commission. It says, and the United States Corporation Company. The United States Corporation Company. Right? Let's make this a little bit larger. It says our Washington office in the National Press Building, qualified by an extensive experience, assists lawyers and only lawyers in all matters with the Security and Exchange Commission in connection with what? The Security Exchange Act 1933, which was what? The Banking Act, which is what? When they turned all your gold in, this is why you start using securities, which is what? How they're exchanging your information to sell you on the public freaking market. You get it? The Security Exchange Commission Act of 1934, Investment Company Act 1940, Public Utility Act of 1915. The Trust Indenture Act of 1939, the Investment Advisors Act of 1940, the SEC service to the lawyers only, lawyers who are supposed to be there to make sure they're protecting you and your rights with your securities, includes examination of papers, drafted by them, or the preparation under their particular supervision of forms and documents that are proposed to be filled with the Securities and Exchange Commission, including the following. Listen. What? Registration statements. Broker-dealer application. Broker-dealer. What did I just tell y'all what an application was? An application is a security document. An application is a bill of exchange. An application is a negotiable instrument. An application is a security that needs to be handled by what? A broker-dealer. A broker-dealer application. Revised prospectus, a proxy statement, exchange listing applications, right? Annual and current reports, exempt prospectus, right? And applications for confidential treatment. And just so you guys know what about a prospectus is, right? That's dealing with advertising. Like someone telling you, hey, come down here. There's no credit check. There's no down payment. And you can get this vehicle. That's giving prospectus. That's giving some person some inclination that, hey, I can get this. Even anybody can get this, including myself. That's putting it in their mind, letting them know that they are able to get these things by kind of inducing and acting to their mind to bring them in. You know, that's like an advertisement, so on and so forth. Information firms regarding the proposed offerings of the exempted securities, United States Corporation. See, back then, they told you what it was, a United States Corporation Company. Listen, this is where their jurisdiction is. Let's understand it too. You know how they tell you being a citizen, you're under the jurisdiction of the United States because you signed up to work for their corporation. You signed up to work for the United States Corporation Company by getting a Social Security card and a birth certificate, right? So because you did that, that's what put you under their jurisdiction, right? It's telling you their jurisdiction is what in a 12-mile radius, which is in Washington, D.C., which is the National Press Building that is there. And these are some of the areas that are governed in St. Louis, Los Angeles, Chicago, Jersey, Philadelphia, so on and so forth. Now, let's talk about these courts' fiduciary responsibilities that I keep telling you guys about. Do you guys understand what a fiduciary is? Do you understand that a trustee is a fiduciary? I know that's right, Israelite. A trustee is a fiduciary, which means that these people are operating under a role of being your trustee and your fiduciary, but they're not actually, doing their duties. This is what makes them fall under fraud. I'll read this to you. Understand this. Court and fiduciary bonds available in every county seat. Well, why would they have fiduciary bonds? Because the bonds are to pay for court cases. You mean to tell me if you lose a court case, that bond is supposed to be paid for by the fiduciary, which is the court-appointed administrator who says that he's a judge, but he's actually a bar member? Oh, come on. This can't be real right now. Yes, it is. It's really real. They're really playing with y'all, and y'all letting them. Listen to this. Let the USF and G man supply your judicial bonds. A judicial bond. There's an agent in every county seat. Oh, wait a minute. Not an agent to work for you? There's an agent who's supposed to take care of your case, and he's supposed to be a fiduciary and a trustee over the accounts of the court system because he's been entitled to the administration of being a public servant, which is a person that has the responsibility over the public to serve the public, actually signing and going up under his oath of office to do exactly that. And if he doesn't do that, then you can bring him up on charges, right? You can sue that judge. He's saying he's a judge, he's a magistrate, whatever the hell he is. But if he is operating under the bar system, then that's fraud. Let's continue. It says there's an agent in every county seat that is equipped with power to issue them without delay. Wait a minute. You mean that these so-called judges, these administrators, these public service workers, these fiduciaries, these trustees, they are agents in the county seat that are equipped to have the power to issue these particular fiduciary bonds without delay? Well, they can, but only if you make them do it. Only if you know your role, you know your position, and you're putting them in their position, the proper authority to do so. It says, look to him for fiduciary. Look to him for fiduciary. Look to him for fiduciary. Do y'all understand that? Court and miscellaneous judicial bonds that are backed by the strength and service facilities of the USF and the G organization. Well, who is that? Who is the USF and G organization? Let's make sure you understand that. It's the United States Fidelity and Guarantee Company. You mean Fidelity? Fidelity Insurance? Fidelity Bond Company? Oh, they're trustees. They're the ones that handle the birth certificate bonds. Those are the bonds that are supposed to be used for administration through the court system. I ain't got to go on through. I'll let y'all get that. Y'all understand that, right? Let me check with the chat. Y'all with me? I'm about to get up out of here, guys. I've been on here an hour and a half. I think I have been doing, maladministration. They're not doing their duties, brother. They're not doing what they're supposed to do with their slack self. Says, sister said I got a link for you and others who want to buy some land for territory tax state sale info. I'll check it out, brother. Unfortunately, brother, I don't really believe in buying land, but I'll check it out. I appreciate you. So what do you guys think? I know this was not a very long video. I definitely want to get back in touch with you guys to get in tune with some with anything that was going on with you guys, so I can make sure I'm filling you in, letting you guys know I have not forgotten about you, letting you guys know that you are very freaking important to me, and I am definitely going to come here, even though I get a lot more interesting people coming into my TikTok live because people really want to learn. They really want to take notes and study and research and get this information. They're like I was when I first started understanding things, just thirsty for the truth. So I'm hoping you guys are going to continue to do the same. I will be definitely checking with you guys this week with not a part 2 necessarily, but to go back into a little more conversation on a few of these things. I decided not to overwhelm myself with planning things and getting into, whatever. I'm just going to go with whatever. When I make my mind to do a build over here, I'll just get into, depending on what the information on my mind is that particular time. I definitely want to get into, man, there's a lot of things I want to talk to you guys about. It's so crazy. I may be getting into a conversation next time about a lot of those things that have been going on and being revealed, and a lot of truths and things that I've always talked to you guys about. But sometimes people forget things. We hear a lot of information, but sometimes it's important to bring some of this stuff back. So yeah, I'll definitely be checking with you guys. I'll definitely be checking with you guys this week. It's been a pleasure. This will be a members only by tomorrow. So if there's anything you guys want to collect out of the notes, make sure that you're doing so. If you are not a member of the page, peace, love, and bliss to everyone that came through. You guys are so appreciated. And yeah, peace, love, and bliss to everyone.